Welcome to EverydayFI, where we explore the lives of everyday people pursuing financial independence. I'm your host, Meghan Combs, and in this show, I want to show you that you don't need a multi-million-dollar book deal or a famous podcast to reach financial independence early. By talking with real humans, I'll show you how to forge your own path to financial freedom the everyday way. Today is part 2 with Robin, and in this episode, she shares actionable advice on how to find a good roommate based on her extensive personal experience, and she talks about the nuances of being both a roommate and a landlord. Our conversation shifts to Robin's journey towards financial independence, highlighting her involvement in the FI community through events like Camp FI and Economy. Robin reflects on current struggles and wins, emphasizing the importance of community, self-reflection, and intentional living. Tune in to hear part 2 of Robin's story after we hear from our sponsors. Okay, so I know we're deviating a little bit, but can you give a little bit of actionable advice about how to find a good roommate? Because I could not figure out what I was doing wrong.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I can definitely talk to that because I've done it so many times now. I think I counted how many roommates I've lived with since I was like 20. I think it's total been like 32 or something. And part of that is because for a time when I lived in Asheville, I lived in a 10-person like community house, kind of like a bit of a hippie house. So that bumps up the total number. But I've lived with a lot of people and I know, what I'm compatible with and what I'm not. So my process, I do have it down to a science. My process for finding good roommates is I write a pretty detailed ad. And okay, another side tangent. This time it is a little different. It's different as also because I am also now the landlord. So that is different. I've been roommates with tons of people before, but up until this past year, it's always been, we're both renters. So we're like on that equal plane. We're roommates and then we pay the rent to somebody else. Now it's, I'm the landlord and I'm your roommate. So that does add nuance and it adds a whole other layer. And sometimes it's a little uncomfy. I haven't had any major problems yet. I've been able to navigate it well, and I think my roommates have as well. But it's like, that's some new elements that are added in there to think about. So there's that. So I write a pretty detailed ad just describing the home and what I'm looking for in a roommate, a little bit about the place, and some good pictures. And then I put in, if you're interested, please write a few sentences about yourself, your lifestyle, and why this particular home situation is appealing to you, like why this appeals to you, why you think this would be a good fit for you. And it's remarkable how many people just screen themselves out immediately because they didn't read the ad. And if you are not a person that can take time to like clearly read a short ad, you're not somebody I want to live with because you've immediately showed me you're not a person who is intentional or like thoughtful with your life decisions. You are not somebody who, if you just send me a little note, or the best is when I get is this still available on Facebook, good old Facebook Marketplace? And I explicitly put in the ad, I don't respond to generic, is this still available? I still get 20 of those a day, whatever. And it's like, delete. So just not even wasting time on those. And even the folks who didn't put, is this still available, but will write and say nothing about them, that just don't respond to the prompt, will say nothing about themselves, their lifestyle, or why it's appealing to them, then I don't want to live with you because you didn't read the ad and you didn't take the time to put in a little thought and care. So do I want to live with somebody who doesn't put thought and care into their life and to their decisions and who they're living with? No. So it screens out a lot of folks just automatically. And then when someone does actually follow the prompt and pay attention and write, hey, I'm so-and-so, here's what I like to do, here's blah, 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 a little bit about me. I really like the house because da, da, da. I think we'd potentially be compatible because of this and blah, blah, blah. Then I will respond back and say, do you want to set up a time to talk, either do a call or meet for coffee? So I don't invite anyone over to the house before either doing a phone call or meeting them in person outside of the home, because I've just found that it's too distracting. You're trying to accomplish too many things at once. If you're also showing the space, but the most important thing is first thing is to get to know each other and feel out, is this a compatible person? Is this a person I would want to see every day and like wake up and they're in my kitchen? Is this somebody who I would enjoy having around. That's the most important thing. And that's hard to really get a sense of if you're also trying to show the place and they're already like falling in love with it and getting swept up, but thinking, oh, I could really see myself here. And then they're going to maybe try to say what you want to hear so that they get, and it's no, that's not going to work. So yeah, doing either a phone call or meeting for coffee. And then I have my list of questions that I ask. So it's a bit of an interview, but it's also, I try to make it chatty and informal, but I also try to hit all the key things so that I'm informed. Who is this person? What is their lifestyle? What's their work schedule? And especially now, this is even more amplified because of I run a preschool out of my home. Like, so that adds a whole other layer of it too. Anyone who lives here also has to now get a background check and fingerprinting. Just that's state licensing regulations. That's not even my choice. That's just how it is for the preschool licensing. And they also have to does that work for them? Are they cool with, but they're going to hear some kid background noise. It's not going to be super loud. We're mostly outside. The kids are never in the shared space. The kids are only ever outside or downstairs. So it's totally separate from the roommate space. There's not going to be kids roaming through the kitchen where they're trying to make their breakfast, but you will sometimes hear them and they'll be around. I had one woman who had contacted me about the room. She sounded awesome. It sounded like we would be a really good fit. But then when I followed up on, hey, just reiterating, here's the kid situation, because I do put that in the ad, but just following up a little more detail and like they'll be audible sometimes. She realized like, oh, actually, as a therapist who works from home, I do need like quiet so that my clients feel safe and comfortable. There's not background noise distracting. And she's like, oh, actually, that probably wouldn't really work. And so making sure you try to hammer out as much of those details and little logistical things ahead of time and get everyone sort of thinking, will this really work? Because if she had moved in and then she signed the lease and all moved in and then she realizes, oh shit, like I can't do my work. The kids are really distracting. That's going to create a conflict and a tension. It's just like, so try to be super thorough ahead of time. Try to think through all the things. And you can't always think through all the things ahead of time. There's no way to do that. But catch as much of those details as possible ahead of time. Also, just the vibe. Is this someone who I would like to see every single day? And then, yeah, logistic stuff. So talk through as much of that, ask all the questions, answer all their questions. And I take notes. I take written notes. And then my favorite thing at the end of that initial call or meetup, afterwards, not in their presence, but I have one of the things on my list is just how excited am I to be around this person? And I have a little scale of 1 to 10 hearts on the paper, and I just color in like how many hearts excited am I to be around them. And they have to rate like either like minimum 7 hearts of excitement or 8, ideally 9, because I don't want to live with somebody who I'm not excited about. I'm not like, oh, wow, like you would enhance this living situation. And then, if that goes all well and it seems like all logistics would work and I'm excited about them, then I invite them to come over and see the space. And at that point, if I'm inviting someone to see the space, I've pretty much already decided, heck yes, I would live with you. But it's the next step, show them the space, walk them through, answer any further questions that they thought of, blah, blah, blah. And then from there, like officially offer them the spot. Yeah. And then getting the lease. So this is new for me, is the leases. Cause before, again, I was a renter and the landlord handled that. I just found the roommates. So now then doing the leases and just hammering all the details, like anything that's relevant, to the situation. I'm going to update the lease a little bit after having my past 2 roommates have been great. It's been great, but I've learned some things. And so I need to adjust the lease a little bit, put in some new things. Yeah. But it's pretty thorough and time intensive process, but I'd rather go through all of that and take the time that it takes to find someone compatible than rush and I just need somebody in the room. And then I have to live with them. It's not a good fit. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And it actually is prompting me to think of, I think I might do an episode on finding a good roommate and reference this as one of my like Meghan's money musings, because I'm thinking to myself about all of the things I did wrong and what I would do differently. So it's like one of those things that, oh, here's where I learned.
Yeah.
And I'll just allude to a little bit of it here. But I, first of all, was in a time crunch to find a roommate. So that's not great to put yourself in that, because then you're going to select whomever is applying. Yeah. So that's not great. I had a year lease up front. I wish I would have done like a trial period, especially given the time crunch. That's also one of the reasons I really like, what is it? The travel nursing site.
Oh, the Furnished Finder thing. Yeah.
Furnished Finder. Yes. That's why I like Furnished Finder. And because it's up to 3 months,
Yeah.
that's the maximum. And then I think I am a people pleaser, and I also assume positive intent from everybody all the time. But I think that that makes me a little too trusting. And like the roommate that I referenced, who was not great,
Mm-hmm.
just straight up lied.
Yeah. Yeah.
During our interview, she was really nice and personable, and her job seemed steady, and she seemed like a really cool person. And I was like, I would probably be friends with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I did do a credit check after I had already been like, yeah, let's move in together. Her credit was actually really bad. It was in the 500s.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, well, maybe she doesn't have a lot of credit, because it wasn't that she had not paid on anything. It was mainly because she didn't have much credit. So I kind of gave her that. But it ended up that she was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
A really mean alcoholic too. So when she was drunk, she would yell at me.
Yeah.
She would bring random strangers to our house. One of them was on a sex offender list.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was terrible.
Horrible.
Like,
oh my goodness.
Horrible. I was like, and people were like, what did you do wrong? I was like, I don't know. She lied to me.
Yeah.
But this is great. No, this is good, because then I'm never going to get a roommate now again, because I live with my husband. So I don't have to get a roommate, thank God. But I think this will help other people who, and never say never. We might have some ADU on our property that we want to rent out to somebody. So this is great advice. But yeah, super tangent, but I think it's actionable for people. So thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And having a roommate, again, like you alluded to, the time crunch, and then also, doing a trial period. I have a 6-month minimum, because I don't want to have to keep cycling through person after person after person, because that does get exhausting. But 6-month minimum, and then, but preferred a year or 6 months, but then renew if it's a good fit. And then I think this is more like my slow, like I'm a bit more maybe a slow fi person, because I'm not optimize the finances at all costs, because I would prefer to lose some money and leave the room empty for a month than to have the wrong person move in. And so, but I can say that because I have worked hard to put myself in a position and been fortunate enough to be in a position where I can say, oh yeah, bummer. Now I'm going to be covering all the mortgage for the month or whatever, but I'm not in such a desperate straits that, oh no, I just got to find someone. And so that's a benefit of pursuing FI too, is like having that comfortability enough that I can be more intentional, take my time, and make those choices that are ultimately going to work out, better for me and the other person.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. No, it's a learning. It's learning, a lot of learning. And I did talk with somebody at last year's Camp FI who was planning to get a roommate, and I was like, I can send you all my questions, everything that I ask, like happy to share my experience. And I think the more, because it is a skill, it's like a learned skill. It's just like anything, the more you do it.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, so let's talk about your financial independence journey and how you found the movement and why you were attracted specifically to FI.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to talk about that. I think that I had stumbled across good old Mr. Money Mustache's blog at some point. I don't know exactly when, but probably, I want to almost say like 2018 or 2019. I don't remember what led me to it, but I think I did read a few blog posts and was like, like drawn to it, and just thought, this is useful. Like at that point, I think 2018, 2019, I was starting to develop a interest in and realizing, I should get my money stuff figured out, because I don't really have it figured out. I'm realizing I didn't have a lot of guidance from my family, and okay, but the life I kind of want to live, I think I might have to figure some stuff out. So I think my interest was just like, my ears were perking up for anything sort of personal finance related at that point. And so I think I read some Mr. Money Mustache, felt like a resonance with it. I was just like, this is useful. I was just seeking information and guidance. And also it's an entertaining read. Some of his stuff is funny, or just he's got a certain voice. And then also being raised with the somewhat, I guess frugality you could call it, or just, that kind of his style, anti-materialism and very minimalist, like that was pretty aligned with how I grew up. That is actually not how I want to live my life. I did not like having to only buy the store brand on sale. Like when I started hitting like 12, 13, I was like, but wait, like I want cute clothes, and I like cooking, and I like trying new foods. And I remember being at the grocery store and being like, can we get the fun, like interesting, like stuff that I've never tried that's like more expensive because it's like the organic stuff or whatever. And so I was starting to realize even at that age that I didn't want that super pared down minimalist. We don't value things. I was like, actually, I really value beauty and I love being surrounded by things that do bring me joy. Like I am a pretty like sensory sensitive person. So like texture and color and the lighting, like all of that actually truly does impact my quality of life on a daily basis. So surrounding myself with coziness and beauty, like actually that's how I want to live. Like it elevates my everyday experience like so much and makes me really happy and is very meaningful to me. So yeah, like growing up, we only get our furniture like from when people like drop it off at the dump. Like it's ugly. I was like, no, 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 that's not how I want to live. And so yeah, I think my personality just doesn't align with that ultra frugality, like anti materials. That's not me. But I did seeking the guidance. I wanted to learn how to do this money thing. And so I read some Mr. Money Mustache, but didn't get super deep into it, but was just aware and just kept, trying to read personal finance books and whatever. And then I think it was either 2020 or 2021. I was in an online co-working space that a local friend of mine had recommended to me. I don't remember how he found it. He's a photographer and poet and had been on this anyway. And it was an online co-working space called Go Go Done. And it's run by this woman, Heather, who's amazing. And it's a community of mostly entrepreneurs, a lot of artists, but a lot of solopreneurs, and people who do all sorts of things just to get on Zoom at the same time and say, it's like an accountability co-working thing, go around, hey, here's what I'm working on today. Okay. So everyone check in, and then whoever's facilitating sets the timer. Okay, go. And then we all work on whatever it is we're working on. And then at a certain point, there's a time to break and everyone kind of checks in, a little social moment, chat, whatever. And then, okay, go and work again. And then, so some of them are the Pomodoro style working segments. Some of them are a bit longer, but then at the end we go around and say how to go. Here's what I accomplished. Oh, I actually went on this other tangent and worked on something else entirely, but that went great. Or I did check off my top 2 hardest things of the day, or just check in about it. So on those calls, I met Diana Miriam, who runs Economy. And the project that she was working on in the co-working sessions was Economy. And I think probably I want to say it was the second year she was working. It was early. I think maybe she had done it once already. Maybe this was the first time. I can't remember, but it was one of the early years. I think maybe she was prepping the second time, something like that. And so that was what she was working on. So I would get these updates at the breaks and the check-ins at the end. Okay, here's what I worked on for the Economy. And hearing her talk about it, like she's just someone who has so much passion and energy and like enthusiasm, like that just emanates out of her enthusiasm for that project and for the FI community and for doing it and working on that. And that was really catching. Like her enthusiasm for it. I was like, tell me more. What's this all about? I was just drawn to that quality in her and drawn to that she was working on something she really cared about. And I was like, oh, but it's also financial, right? I want to learn about that. And so I went in 2021 to Economy. That was my first in-person FI event. So I hadn't started listening to any of the podcasts yet at that point. Like I said, I had read a little Mr. Money Mustache, but I wasn't on podcasts. I wasn't really officially like pursuing FI really. It was just, I met Diana. I was like, oh, like this is cool what she's up to. I want to learn more. And I want to learn about finance. So I went to Cincinnati in 2021. It was, I think, the first one. Yeah, I guess she must have run it before because I think she did it pre-pandemic. And then this was the first one, like still during the pandemic, really. So we were still very masked up and everything. But yeah, November of 2021. And that was awesome. I had a great time. Yeah, the talks were fabulous. I didn't know anyone. I wasn't plugged into the community yet at that point. And I don't know. And I think it's changed now, like from what I hear about how Economy is now. I think she's changed some things. And I think it's more maybe easier to get plugged in and meet people there. My first year, I didn't know anyone. And I did feel like it was hard to meet. Like I felt like I was there on my own. I loved the talks and I did talk to some cool people and meet people, but I didn't come away from it being like, wow, I met so many new friends. Like it was useful and great and I had a lot of fun, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend, as it was at that point, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as a first FI thing. But I think she's made a lot of changes, and now there's like a speed friendshipping event and different things. I haven't been in recent years, but I would definitely want to go back. So it sounds like the format of it has shifted a little bit, and it sounds like it's now a little easier for new folks to get connected and get plugged in and start building friendships and connections. My experience was, it was just a little harder to do that. And then, but I had a great time. It was awesome. Definitely worth it. And then from there, then I went to Camp FI. 2022 was my first one. And that felt really easy. That's when I was like, oh, like these are my people. Like I started making friends. Like it's a little smaller. It's a little more like casual. Like the economy was at that point, it was more of almost like a conference feel. Like there were bigger presentations, not as much of the small group stuff. I think there's more of that now. Not as much of the hanging out and then the good old name game. So like Camp FI, I was like, oh, like this just felt really easy. I felt really excited to learn. There were so many good talks and this and that. What are they called? The small group discussions. There's a word for them, but I can't remember right now, but maybe it'll come to me.
Breakouts.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the breakouts. So that was where I really started to find my people and get excited and be like, whoa, yes, I feel like I'm a part of this and I want to keep coming back and keep learning from all these awesome people who are, like Alan mentioned, like just the FI community drawing sort of unconventional thinkers. And everyone's so interesting. Everyone's just like a little bit out of the box. Everyone's got a weird side hobby or passion, or it's not finance for the sake of finance. It's finance for the sake of, ooh, so I can do this other cool thing. And so I can live this life that I really want to live over here. And it's just a bunch of people.
So true. It's
Yeah.
so true. And I found it so true with the podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody's story.
Wacky. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody has something. Everybody's different. Yeah. Like I am interviewing you today who raised hippie, lived in a dome, has a preschool. And then yesterday I interviewed this guy, Rakesh, who his episode's going to come out before yours. And he was from India and is in his 40s and loves to run and works in tech and is on an H-1B visa and totally different stories, but yet we're all in the same community. Yeah. And I love it so much. And literally, as you were talking about economy and stuff, my wheels started turning about what if I did a conference for like EverydayFI friends and I could bring the guests who've been on my show to be speakers, or I don't know. It's just a pie in the sky type of idea, but I was like,
there's so many possibilities.
So cool. I know. I know.
Yeah, there is.
But anyway.
It does really, it draws such interesting people, and just the pure generosity of heart of all of these total nerds, like and I mean that as a compliment. It's like everyone's a nerd in some way, whether it's a finance nerd or their side hobby is their passion. Everyone's like just very interesting and then so generous because it's just people who want to share what they've learned and want to learn more, and just it draws people who are perpetual learners who just get jazzed about learning and sharing knowledge and skills, and that's part of also what makes it so lovely and just feels so good because it's hard to describe to people. When I tell people, friends who are not in the FI community, like when I try to describe what I'm going to the Camp FI, it's like, how do I describe this? Because it's not what it isn't. I don't know, the stereotype of like finance people who are like they're maybe going to try to sell you something or join my course, and it's not that at all. It's just a bunch of people who's just like really hanging out and like talking about finance things, but also other things, and just having a grand old time and doing karaoke. And
oh my God, I love the karaoke. So much fun. I stayed up so late doing it last year.
And then I ended up going to after karaoke. I went down and swam in the pond at 1 a.m. So there's elements of this is like grown up summer camp, but
yeah, Camp FI. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And I liken it to my husband. I'm just going to call him husband because he's going to be my husband in a week. So he's my husband. He is a climber, like a rock climber. And that is a community.
Yeah.
And I think we're the same. It's just that what brought us together is financial independence.
Yeah.
And everybody who's in the climbing community, it's not quite as diverse because it's usually a younger faction and most people are very fit, but it's still pretty diverse. And so I would liken it to that kind of community.
Yeah. Drawn together by a common purpose, a common interest, but then so much variety within that. And then, so then I just kept going to Camp FI. This is my fourth Camp FI Mid-Atlantic. I haven't gone to any other location ones, but it's my home base for sure. And then probably my second year of Camp FI, 2023, is probably when I started deepening some friendships. Probably right around somewhere in there was probably when I started listening to more of the podcast. I think I probably started around 2022 listening to EverydayFI and some of the other ones. Mainly, what else do I listen to a lot of different ones to go through. I really like Mark's Money Mind right now. That's another wonderful one. And there's just so many good ones. But then, started deepening the friendships. And then I started attending the Richmond EverydayFI meetup groups. So I'm in just outside Charlottesville. So it's about an hour drive for me. The Charlottesville group has been inactive for years. It's just now starting, the Charlottesville EverydayFI group. We had a meetup last month for the first time in years. Like I had joined the EverydayFI Charlottesville Facebook group probably several years ago, and there's been zero. I had posted a couple of times like, hey, anyone wanna? And nothing, just crickets, nothing. It just wasn't active. And now it does seem like it's picking up. We had a great meetup and there's another one scheduled. So it seems like Charlottesville is picking up some momentum. But in the meantime, I'd been going to Richmond meetups, which are fantastic, like really well attended, really well organized. Yeah, got to know some really great people and who are now like true friends, like who I see and hang out with. And some of my good friends from the Richmond group actually are just now moving back to Charlottesville. So we're getting to see each other more, and that's been wonderful. And so going to the Richmond like potlucks, case studies have been fantastic. And just through that, getting to know more people and receiving a lot, but just continuing a lot of support. Folks check in, oh, how's the preschool business going? People who really want to know, they really care, and they really are excited to hear what I'm up to and share their knowledge. And I hope that I could, just share something back. Sometimes I feel I'm not that far along in my FI journey. Like I don't have a ton of technical knowledge to share, but I can share what I've done and what I've learned. And
I think what value you bring is that you are living the life you want to live already, while also pursuing FI. And I think a lot of people want that, right? Like you said in the beginning, that most of the time people find FI because they want to get away from their job. Right. And so if they could learn how to pursue their happiness today, which I think you've got on lock, that would be what you bring value, where you bring value.
That's true. Because it was more my why of FI. And I mean, there's lots of them, but it is almost more because there was a time when I thought, am I going to have to switch careers and leave early? Like I love early childhood education, and I believe it's one of the most important things on the planet. Like 80% of our brain is developed by age 3. Our relational blueprint for how we interact with the world and with humans and our attachment system, everything is happening at the young age. It's so important. It's the most important thing. But working for other people's program, getting paid a preschool teacher's salary, I cannot do this. Like I can't make this work financially. And so there were times when there was a time when I was like, do I need to figure something else out? Do I need to switch careers and do something else, because I don't see how this is going to be financially sustainable. And the only way that I think that I was able to figure out that it can be is opening my own business and running it and learning the skills to do that. And I do credit the FI community a lot with that. I was able to take those steps. But I get to love and do what I do. And it's so great. So thanks for pointing that out. Cause that is something I bring, I guess. So
do you want to talk about what you might do after you reach FI?
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness. Sure. I don't know. I just think my life's going to be very different at that point. I'm 35 now, which I love. I think that my personality was born to be in my mid 30s and hopefully beyond. I don't think my personality jived great with being a 20 something. It's just not. And now I'm like, oh, this is who I'm meant to be. This works better. So I'm 35 now. I'll reach FI roughly, give or take 20 years ish from now, if I keep on the trajectory I am. So mid 50s. Life's just going to be so different. I have no idea what it will be like. So it's very hard to say. I think that I don't know. I think unless things change, which sometimes I do, I think I'll still be here in Central Virginia, probably in the same house. Maybe not, but it seems like chances are good. I do want to find a partner and have a committed, intimate relationship that's long-term, that we're building this beautiful life together. I want to find somebody who sees what I've built and is, wow, heck yes. Like that aligns with what I want. Let's do this together. So I just started dating recently after quite a while of not, and that's been an adventure already. So I'm excited to continue that. And yeah, keep meeting people, getting to know people, and working towards finding the person who I'm super compatible with, who the lifestyle that I want, that is also what they want, and that it just clicks and we can build that together. I don't want kids. I'm going to be working with other people's kids probably my whole life, and I love that. And that's great. And I have no need to have my own. I've seen, having worked with young kids and with families of young kids for so long, I've seen a lot. And I feel that I'm under no illusions as to what it's like. I don't think I can truly know because I haven't lived it as a parent, but I have a pretty good idea. And I think it's just, yeah, there's many reasons. I don't need to go into all of them, but many reasons. It's not something that I want to do, but I do want to keep working with these awesome little people. So yeah, no kids for me. And gosh, I don't know, when I'm mid 50s, like there's menopause to look forward to. And and honestly, just everything feels a lot of things in the world feel very uncertain. And even things like travel in 20 years, some climate stuff is going to be even more different. Some geopolitical things, maybe, who knows what's going to be going on. So I think in my ideal world, I would love to reach FI, still be home based here, but do some more traveling. I think, yeah, keep working with kids in some way. Probably this is like what I do now. It is the thing that I would still do for free, just on a very part-time basis. I would not be doing this full time, but I would still, and maybe I'll be, running professional development retreats or something for other nature-based early childhood teachers. I would love to go back and do a lot more in-depth study on human development. I'm already doing a lot just in my day-to-day and finding trainings and stuff, but human development, I took a really great class on secure attachment, like how secure attachment is built in early childhood and how we do that. And I would love to actually become trained to facilitate that group in that class, because it's something that I think the more parents, but also just general citizens, like the more people can know about this stuff of how it actually works in early childhood and how we can set kids up for a life of connected relational experiences and strength and health in their interpersonal relationships and trust of themselves. Like the more we can do that, the more things are going to go in a better direction little by little. It's mind-boggling to me often how little most humans know about this stuff. And I'm just swimming in it all the time and nerding out about it. It seems obviously like but it's not obvious to a lot of folks. And it's not obvious unless you have delved into it. And yeah, I would love to become trained to facilitate classes and groups like that and help people who are going to be parents for the first time, or who already are parents and are like, oh, wait, I need to learn some stuff about this. And also reaching more citizens who are not parents and maybe never plan to be, but they're going to be aunties and uncles and they're going to encounter children in their lives. And I would love to just spread that knowledge and care for the importance of early childhood development. And like, really, it's what's going on there is so key, and we can have such a big impact. So I think that I'm probably doing something along those lines.
No, that's great. And I'm like, I'm going to sign up. I want to sign up for that because, and I know exactly what you're talking about. If the audience doesn't know, there's an attachment styles like study that was done. There's a book too that I read. Do you recommend that book? It's more for
lots of ones. Which one?
I don't remember. Once I find it, I'll link it in the show notes. It's not about children specifically. It's about finding your own attachment style and understanding it, and then being able to overcome that, because it does affect a lot of your relationships. And so I found that book very helpful for myself, but I would love to also take a course on early childhood secure attachment and how to develop that in a child, because that's what I want for my children. I am in therapy, so that helps, but anything else on top of that would be absolutely fantastic. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that resource for anybody who might be interested, I'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, there's lots. The one book that I can see from my seat right now it's called Raising a Secure Child, and it's connected with the organization that also operates Circle of Security International. So any of the Circle of Security parenting classes are excellent, and it helps folks see how their own attachment and upbringing, so that does necessarily impact how one parents their own kids. And So the more knowledge people can have, self-knowledge of here's how things were for me, here's how that impacts my sort of initial gut instinct of how to parent. Oh, what about that? Do I want to continue? What would I like to change? How can I create even a stronger environment for my child? So yeah, circle of security, parenting classes, raising a secure child book. There's tons of good stuff. I also really the whole brain child and any of his, what is that? Dan Siegel, I think. He also goes on about good old mindfulness, good old mindfulness in parenting, which is all awesome as well. Yeah, any of that, the more we can reflect on ourselves and then integrate that into how we interact with young children, the better.
Super important. Yeah. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of our time, but I like to have my guests talk about their current struggles or challenges and their current wins. So what are some of your challenges you're going through right now, and what are some of your wins?
Challenges would be, I think, just balancing the amount of work that it takes so right now I am looking for a new roommate. My one amazing roommate, she's been great, but she found love and is moving in with her boyfriend, so she'll be moving out. And so just the sort of time commitment of going through the process, finding the new roommates, and sort of the time of maintaining all the systems, I guess. It does sometimes feel like a lot still I'm working on re-enrollment for next fall with the kids and a lot of the admin stuff to keep the systems that are supporting the FI journey and the FI goals. It's a lot of work right now. And I think I'm doing okay with balancing it with fun as well. But yeah, sometimes when I look at my to-do list, I'm like, oh, okay, I had to rewrite the roommate ad, and I do need to make some adjustments to the lease. But doing those things allows me to have high quality roommates. That allows me to have big support with paying the mortgage. My roommates don't cover the mortgage, but it helps a whole heck of a lot. And just, yeah, again, supporting the lifestyle that I want to be living. Same with the business. I'm working on my taxes, and it's just, there's a lot. I think I'm just still in the early stages of a lot of these things. Like, I've always done my own taxes, but this year it's just more complicated because of some of the business things and the owning a home things and the rental income things. It's just, there's more things. So I'm in just big learning curves right now, which is great, but
Don't do what I did. And I accidentally wrote off my mortgage interest like 3 different times, apparently, according to my mom, who is a CPA. And oh my God, I'm so lucky that I have her, because she was like, let me look at your thing. And no, you can't do this. They will audit the crap out of you if you submit
That's
this.
helpful. No, because I have my little mortgage interest form, like whatever tax form I got. And I've been like trying to figure out, what do I do with this? Especially because my business is in my home. Yeah, but I was running into that. How can I write this off in multiple places? That doesn't seem quite right. Yeah.
If your tax return is $10,000, you've done something wrong. If your if your refund is $10,000, there's something wrong.
So that's a big learning. I think ultimately it would be wise to just find a CPA, but I also am like, but I want to learn this. I want to do it. And I think I am capable.
You can do both.
Both. So
you can do it. What I did is I did it myself. And then I handed it over to my mom, which you could just hand it over to a CPA and be like, this is what I did.
Yeah.
And can you teach me what I did wrong?
That's
when you submit it back, because that's ending from them.
I like to do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just the struggle is just, it's learning curves on a lot of things right now, working on re-enrolling, just, balancing all that, the labor that goes into setting up good systems that will get me where I want to go and be living the life I want to live right now. So I wouldn't say any of it's like passive right now. I feel very, this is my day to day, and it's good, but it also feels purposeful, and it feels like I'd certainly rather be doing all this and working for myself and living a life that I want than doing somebody else's work for somebody's corporation that I don't care about. This is a lot of work, but it's meaningful. Mother struggles. Funny thing, I know the thing about once you put money in your investment accounts, you have to make sure you actually invest it. And I knew that, and I thought I was for my main brokerage account, but I just checked my Roth IRA, and lo and behold, the like $7,000 or however much dollars that I had put in for the year, it was still sitting in the settlement fund. I was like, I somehow did not invest. But so now I've bought BTSAX with it. So now it's working. But I was like, man, there's like little things that sometimes do slip through the cracks. And even though I knew that, I knew you have to make sure that you actually click the buttons to invest the money and not just have it sitting in the account doing nothing. That one, it slipped past me for a little bit. So it's just, always trying to, not let too many things fall through the cracks and get systems in place so that you don't have to keep checking all those. So my brokerage, my taxable brokerage, it's auto. I've got it set to auto. So it's going to wins. That's a win. I've got it set to auto invest. So it just automatically takes a chunk out of my checking every month and puts it. And my win is that I'm gradually increasing that. I haven't reached the auto invest number that I want yet. That will get me to that FI number, but it's getting closer and closer. And once I enroll one more child and reach full enrollment, like I'll be there, and that feels amazing. So that auto invest, I'm gradually, like each time I have a new kid enroll, like bumping that number up, and it does auto invest. And that one, it goes straight to actually being invested and purchasing the actual shares in the index fund. I'm not sure why all the money for the Roth IRA went just into the settlement account and not into I'm not sure. So I need to tweak something there. So there's just always little learnings. But yeah, winning, I would say just getting to the point that I have is amazing. And when I look back just over this past year, it's incredible all that has gone on and all that I have accomplished. I think it's easy to get swept up in, oh, but there's so much more to do. And there is. And there's so much more to get to where I want to be. And there is. But just look back and say, whoa, this is pretty amazing how far I've come, and financially wise and life skills wise, owning a home, running the business. Like, what? I did all that in the past year or so? That's mind boggling. And it feels good to see that. Yeah, wins. Yeah, just keeping at it, keeping after it, and staying connected. And the wins are definitely the friendships, like building the local friendships with the Richmond group and the Charlottesville group now, and with folks who are not necessarily local, but who I always keep up with and see at the Camp Fi's. And that's the biggest. Yeah, I just keep, especially with the new ChooseFI platform coming out online just now, to move away from Facebook, hosting all the ChooseFI events and stuff. And now we have a separate, awesome, very robust online platform that Jonathan has been working on and Brad's been supporting. And it's great. I'm still learning. I'm on it. I'm learning my way around. I still haven't figured out how to view the events, but I'll figure it out. But it's really great staying connected and building the friendships.
Yeah.
It's very important to me and very fun. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're at the end, and I have to wrangle a life hack recommendation or learning from you so that our audience can learn even more than they already have from you. So something you haven't shared yet.
Something I haven't shared yet. I think this is just repeating myself, but don't try to do it alone. Don't do hard things alone. Find people who can support and lift you up, and who you can support and have fun with. Yeah, don't try to do hard things alone. Do hard things, but don't do them alone. And, well, okay, here's one life hack. Just incorporating regular reflection. I do a annual reflective journaling retreat with a few folks who've been mentors in my life for a long time. And roughly around New Year's, somewhere in January, every year we get together and we go through a pretty extensive list of questions. And these are not 5 folks, but it aligns with the reflective, like trying to create the life you want vibe. And we just go through all these journaling questions and review the year past. How were my relationships with people? How was my relationship with myself? How was my relationship with nature? What was working? What were the obstacles? What were the stepping stones along the way? And then ultimately at the end, culminating in, and then what's my vision moving forward, whether that's be for the year, whether that's like a 5-year kind of vision goal plan, and then what are the action steps needed to get there. And I've been doing this specific format of journaling retreat almost every single year for almost 10 years now. And it is powerful. That has shaped the path of my life, because each year I can look back and be like, wow, okay, here's what went on. Here's where I did take action. Here's what was working. Okay, now what about looking forward? What goals am I setting for myself? And I really love to write the final vision of, okay, either for this next year or next 5 years or whatever. I like to write it in a format of the letter. Imagine a letter to a good friend or somebody, who I care about, who's known me for a long time. and write it to them, but as though it's future me. So like me a year from now saying, oh my gosh, friend, I can't wait to catch you up on everything that's gone on this past year. And then describe everything that I want to go on in the upcoming year, but write it in the past tenses that this has already all happened. And let me tell you all about it in lots of detail. It is very powerful and like stunningly accurate sometimes. But I wouldn't say it's just like manifesting, because it has to be backed up with action, right? It's like a vision and goals and getting specific, like getting down to the senses. What do I want to see every day out my window? How do I want to feel? What are even the scent that I want to smell every day? Like, yeah, what are the skills I want to build? Where do I want to travel? And then writing it like, oh my gosh, can't wait to tell you everything. Here's where I went. Here's out my window, I see these beautiful trees with all these birds everywhere. And my house smells like freshly baked bread. And I have this amazing partner who just snuggles me every day, and just really going for it big. And then writing that all out and then reviewing it. There was a time when I would read that, like the written vision, I would read that out loud to myself every single day, like first thing in the morning. I'm not doing that right now. I had that consistent for a while and I'm not doing it right now, but just like keeping that in the forefront of my mind, whether I read it every day or return to it every week or check in with it. And then ultimately I'm going to at least check in with it every year, and keeping that on the forefront of my mind. Then I can't get too far off track, because I'm always reminded of, no, wait, this is the life that I really want. Okay, what am I doing towards that? And it's also really fun. And it's spookily accurate sometimes, looking back at some of them. Be like, whoa, I did, okay, yep, that's true now, and that's true, and I did that, and yep. And there's still some, it's not all of it, but I'm going to keep doing that. And so I would say, yeah, making an intentional, committed practice of self-reflection, ideally, at least for me, in a group of people that I trust as well, and not just doing it alone, but doing that committedly over time, it adds up and it makes a real difference. And I can credit that with a lot of where I'm at today. Yep. That's my hack.
Yeah. I love that. That's excellent. And I think a great hack, and something that everybody could do. And even if it's like just your family doing it together, that could work. So I love that. And I loved having you on. This was so much fun. And I've been laughing that like all of my recordings are getting longer and longer and longer, because I just can't stop asking questions. And even sometimes people are like, oh, we didn't talk about this part. And I'm like, I know, I have to bring you back on for another 4-hour conversation. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was actually so incredible to see your lovely face. Also, I know nobody else is going to see our faces because I'm not doing video right now, but I loved being able to catch up with you, and I can't wait to see you at another Camp FI. If people want to reach you who haven't met you yet, how can they do that?
Oh, that's a good question. I exist on Facebook still currently. I think I have an Instagram, but I'm never on there. I don't do anything on there. The business Facebook page is Robin's Nest Nature Play School. Not preschool, play school, all one word, Robin's Nest Nature Play School. And so if you search that, you can see some pretty adorable pictures of kids running around in the woods and having a great time. So yeah, you can reach me through that, just message me or whatnot. Yeah, or find me at a Camp FI or a Richmond or Charlottesville and Choose a FI local group, or yeah, I don't know, message me on the new Choose a FI thing. I'm also dating and single. So if any of this life that I've made sounds good to you and you're also single, you can try to find me. We can chat more.
Yeah. Are you looking for men, women?
Either, mostly men, but I'm definitely open to women as well. I've dated some of both. And somehow, yeah, when I picture a life partner, I picture a man, but you never know.
Yeah, awesome. No, that's good to know, just in case.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, great. Awesome. It was awesome to talk to you, Robin. And yeah, I can't wait to see you again at Camp FI.
Yay, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the EverydayFI podcast. If you're loving this show, here are some things you can do. Number 1, subscribe in your favorite podcast player and share the show with your friends and family. You can also find us on YouTube now. Some of the videos actually have our faces. Number 2, please leave a review. I am always looking for ways to improve the show. Number 3, check out my website, everyday-fi.com, where you can listen to all the episodes and leave comments for myself and the guest. Number 4, If you're interested in sharing your own financial independence story and connecting with other community members, you can find a submission form at everyday-fi.com/podcast. And lastly, number 5, join my Patreon membership for only $5 a month at patreon.com/everydayfi podcast. This is a one-woman show, so every little bit of support really helps. See you next time as we continue to go down the path to financial freedom.